name is Eli David. I'm CEO of StartupLink.com. I'm going to quickly do my own pitch of Startup Link. So I'm going to be the first pitcher, but I'm going to take less than 4 minutes, I promise you. So basically, Startup Link is a global startup ecosystem map and a research center. And the idea over here that we're building a map with about 70,000 startups, co-working spaces, accelerators, and so on. And the most interesting, and everyone can register to the map for free. I'll tell you that the most interesting thing of what we do is ranking. So first of all, if you register your startup or co-working or whatever on this map that you can see over here, you influence the ranking of your location. We rank the startup ecosystems of 1,000 cities for a very, very good reason, which is allowing you, and this is below the map. So if you scroll below the map, you can see the ranking of 1,000 cities. We're on a crusade, and our crusade is very, very simple. We want entrepreneurs to understand that the startup ecosystem where they base their startup is going to be critical for their chances of success. So we created this free resource that allows you to pick and kind of say, you know what, I'm currently stuck for some reason in Germany, not for some reason, it's a great country. I'm in Germany, where should I go? And the idea is that you can click on this search box and you can see what are the rankings of all the ecosystem. There is also a PDF report that you can download here for free. And the idea is to choose your ecosystem wisely. It's going to greatly affect your chances of success. And this is something we repeat and keep on repeating. Do not stay in bad ecosystem in Startup Link. And just before we begin, and I'm preparing people again, so what we have, Ken, you're going to go first. Ami, you're second. Stefan, you're third. And Svetlana, you are fourth. Okay, so prepare yourself. You have exactly 1 more minute. And before we are starting the pitch, I'm just going to share with you a few links that might be valuable for you. And those links actually keep the site alive. And the links are as following. I'm going to quickly share it with you. So I'm going to go one by one. StartupLink.com, the first link, the map where you can register your startup for free. The second link is our Telegram channel, which is basically a place where you see 1,500 entrepreneurs talking about relevant stuff on startups, whatever that can be helpful. The third link, citypartner.startuplink.com. That's our basically program to promote and to leverage ecosystem leaders, organizations that want to lead their ecosystem. We give you a ton of models of promoting your organization, including managing your community, appearing on our global report, on our map, and crazy stuff. So check it on citypartner.startuplink.com. The fourth one is the long link is our meetups. We do meetings for coffee in Starbucks in dozens of cities on the weekend. So feel free to connect with entrepreneurs. Magic happens when entrepreneurs meet. Pitching event, you can, this is the other link. You can check the next time that we have the pitching event. And 3 deals from our partners. The first one is from SEMrush. SEMrush is the best marketing analysis program that I know. This is a secret deal. They're giving you 14 days for free, but more important, 1 model for free. There's really hundreds of dollars of benefits. The second one is Bluehost. Bluehost, this is an affiliate link to Bluehost that give you a discount. You can build your website with it, and it also gives us a little bit of money to sustain this event. And the third one is HubStuff. I'm using HubStuff to manage a team of 7 people. This is basically the best time tracking tool that exists. I would be lost without it. So they also give you a 10% discount, and we are ready to go. So Ken, I'm now gonna promote you into panelist. So just a second. Hope all the machinery and microphones would work. So let me quickly promote you. Ken, can you raise your hand in the chat? I can't find you for some reason. Oh yeah, no, I can see. Okay, so there. Great, so you have an unmute button and a video button. Should be in the same place at the bottom left. So if you can unmute yourself and click the camera, that would be absolutely great. We can't hear you and we can't see you yet. I'm gonna let you know when we can. You have to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now we can hear you and we can see you. Super. So Ken, when are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Hong Kong and Ireland. We registered the company in Ireland and Hong Kong as well. So I'm
Amazing.
traveling back and forth in between.
Amazing. That's great. So super. So we can see your screen. You can start whenever you're ready. Go for it.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone again. And my name is Ken. I'm the founder and CEO of Wellski. Today, I'm going to talk about a new concept and new business model called tokenized content. I'm sure many of you have this experience. When you browse the net, you find something interesting, you want to continue to read on, however, you prompt to a message asking you to subscribe. According to a survey, more than 90% of the internet users walk away with a subscription. So obviously the subscription model is not working well. We are introducing a solution to disrupt the subscription model. First, we're gonna have our own digital currency called ShareCoin. It's a utility token for content paying and sharing. This will be applicable to, firstly, in our platform, Wellski. This is web and app-based platform for high quality content. The ShareCoin can also be used in any other third-party platforms, any media, including self-publishing, powered by blockchain. So the underlying technology is blockchain for this entire solution. The benefit for the individual is that there's no more subscription, so this is pay as you go, and it's affordable, only 6 cons or 60 cents US. The beauty of it is that after you finish reading, you can even earn passive income by sharing the content. And whoever pick up the share content and also pay by our con, the person who shares will also earn the con. So the more a person shares, the more he or she will earn. So again, no more subscription, and people can actually earn passive income by pushing the share button. For the content providers and media, obviously this is going to be increased revenue for them, because now they can reach to the 90% of the people who didn't bother to pay for a subscription. This could also help them to expand the market. Instead of the local subscribers, now they can expand to international with our network multiplier effect with the power of sharing. We want to create 2 business models. One is our own platform based on Wellski. Again, we target both B2C and B2B. For B2C, we make our revenue by selling the cons, obviously, and the paid content and also the online content training. For B2B, we earn money by having the advertisement, project financing, and value-added services. As we mentioned before, the ShareCoin can also be embedded in any third-party platform. We can make money by having the licensing of the coin and royalty payments, and even revenue split with any third-party platforms. Our ultimate goal is to create Wellski as the high-quality content version of Facebook, and the ShareCoin, we want to position this as the currency for the entire content world, and hopefully, as we mentioned before, to disrupt the subscription model. This is the team. Myself, I'm the founder and CEO. I'm currently based in Hong Kong, and I'm traveling back between Ireland and Hong Kong. I worked for Nortel for 7 years in Canada. I also worked for NVIDIA. I spent 7 years as well in Johnson Controls, managing the supply chain organization in Asia Pac. I was the senior director of Electrolux, and my last job before forming the startup, I was the general manager of Landis+Gyr Gear in Australia. And I'm also a speaker in the Asia Financial Forum a few years ago. This is the rest of the team. They manage the platform and the technology development. In terms of the market and competition, the digital content market size is about 130 billion US dollar globally. We initially target Greater China, Europe, and North America first. Then the rest of the...
I'm sorry to interrupt. You have less than 1 minute, so make the best out of it.
Sure. Okay, so these are the group of competitors, including the content providers, the media, social media, and the cryptocurrency as well. So we are a social media plus digital currency, but we are not Bitcoin. We are not in the coin value speculation business. We focus on the application of the blockchain instead. This is one example of our go-to-market for B2B by pitching to media like Business Post. We help them to focus on international rather than cannibalizing the local subscription. We want to focus on a niche content rather than general news. So the message is to increase the revenue for those media. For B2C, this is one example. We are launching it in Hong Kong. We partner with some KOLs and trainers in Hong Kong and Taiwan for them to bring in their followers and students to our platform as well. We have more content in the Chinese language version at the moment than the English version, but we're going to expand to North America and Europe, as we mentioned, as phase 2. This is also some example of the awards we won. We won the first runner-up of Big Data and FinTech in Hong Kong Techathon 2020. And we have also graduated from an Irish accelerator recently from Ireland. This is our revenue projection. We are expecting to break even.
We actually don't have time for that. So you're way over the 4 minutes. We're 5 minutes now. Any closing sentence that you want to share with us before we go to the feedback? One sentence that you can.
Yeah, we are ready and we are looking for more partnerships. Hopefully to work with everyone.
So yeah, basically the goal of this presentation, or let's say, Ken, if you're now going to do presentations, is it going to be for investors or for partners that are the magazines, or what exactly is your target market in those presentations? So just so we know with what to help you.
A little bit of both. We're pitching for investors. We're also pitching for partnership with the media, mostly medias in all over the world, like Europe, North America, whoever want to try our ShareCon solution to kind of as alternative to a subscription model.
Right, super. Okay, so we're switching back to the crowd, and now we really need your feedback. So Ken is going to go and do meetings with very serious people, either big media moguls or investors, and this is the presentation that he has. And now we're going to ask you, the people in the chat, to kind of help us out and kind of tell us what are, in your opinions, the things that were most need of improvement here. Overall, it was a good presentation. I have to admit that it was a good presentation, but anything that comes to mind to the participants on how to improve Ken's chances of, one, getting investors, and two, getting partners. And while we're waiting for the feedback, Ken, what I'm going to allow is maybe to ask the crowd a question about the presentation. So what do you think if we're going to ask them, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer to ask them if this was clear, or do you prefer to ask them maybe if this solution is solving a real pain? What would be your preference for a question to the crowd?
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether the crowd would think the solution sounds effective and whether this is going to work with the media partners.
Got you. So what I'm going to launch now is a question about pain and about is there really a need for something like that from your feeling? And again, do you have a problem here? Because probably most of the people here are not really in the media, but let's launch a quick poll about the perceived feeling of people of is there really a pain that has to be solved here? And I'm going to share it with everyone after you vote. So please, everyone, give Ken a little bit of feedback. This is a very unique opportunity for him to get feedback from more than one or two people. So let's give him a nice sample of ideas. So I'm going to share with you. Ken the results in 2 seconds. And in the meantime, I'm going to start looking at the feedback that we got on the chat. So thanks a lot, Ramon. First of all, you have a quick feedback from Svetlana that says that the idea is cool. So it sounds like you have a fan already, which is absolutely great. I'm just going to share actually the results of the poll. So just a second, we're going to have a quick look before we go to the to what Ramon wrote. So I'm sharing the results. Okay, and as you can see here, you have actually 39% of the people say that yes, there is a clear pain. You have 44% of the people saying that they're not so sure, and that's actually the majority. So it's actually not good or not bad. It's just in the middle. Usually it's because either the pain is not that clear or because maybe the message could have been more sharp. So those are the options. And you have only 17% that says no. So basically you have a majority people here that are relatively positive about this, although the majority bracket is the ones that are so convinced. So that's so thanks everyone for voting. And now let's have a look at the feedback a little bit and see what do we have. So Ramon is saying that the problem that you raise is very relevant, but maybe the cryptocurrency part is not so much. Yeah, and he would tell you. So basically, the idea is that Ramon is kind of saying the problem is clear, but it's not clear that this is the solution for the problem. So this could be something that maybe if you can connect the solution better to the pain, it can be relevant. And now we have a little bit of feedback from Matt. Matt is saying that this was a great presentation. And he's also asking, or basically saying that something that was not that clear from the presentation is how do you plan to explain the value add to the big media companies like New York Times and so on as an alternative for a model that now makes them a lot of money. So I think this is a very, very valid concern, and probably Ken, you're gonna deal with difficulties over here because those guys are relatively profitable. They're doing fine. Economist, the New York Times, there is a reason why all of them are going behind the paywalls because they're generating a lot of money from the paywalls. And Matt is a little bit concerned over here that in the presentation itself, you don't have to answer it now, we don't even have time, but the idea is that he didn't really feel that you've brought enough to the table to kind of persuade the ones that are actually generating money from the current model. Of course, it's good for the consumers because none of us want to be behind paywalls, but for them, it's not necessarily good. And apparently it wasn't that clear about why they should be convinced. I'll just tell you one more idea over here because Ken, you're kind of saying, look, it's not working for them. But people like Matt that know the industry will tell you, Ken, it actually is working for them. So even if you say it's not working for them, look at their financial report, it is. So what maybe you can consider doing is to say, look, I'm not for everyone. I'm not for the New York Times, the Economist, and those guys. I'm for, and you complete the sentence. You know, maybe I'm for the national magazines in smaller countries or whatever. But I would be very careful about saying, look, they're not happy with the current situation. A lot of them are. So that's something to take into account. And let's have a look at a little bit more feedback. We don't have that much time, but let's see. Pete is saying that the problem from online users is like the user. Pete is repeating the idea that look, the pain does exist, but apparently only for the users. Yeah, and also Pete is saying that he doesn't necessarily feel comfortable to switch from an actual subscription to a cryptocurrency. So the idea is that kind of like the users themselves that are not so technical, a lot of them do not really understand cryptocurrency, so you have to do it in a very, very simple way. And maybe this was missing in the presentation to kind of explain why is this so much in the flow that you don't have to understand blockchain and cryptocurrency, and it's still going to be okay. So yeah, definitely good presentation all in all. And again, we'll be cheering for you. So keep us updated. Maybe come back in the future and let us know how it goes with the fundraising and the partnerships.
Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Good luck. Good luck. Good. So we're switching now to our second presenter. Good presentation. Thanks again to Ken. And Ami, we're going to switch to you. So let me just promote you as if I can find you. Yeah, here you are. So let's see if it works. Okay, I
Hi,
think that now we
can you
can
see
see you
me?
and hear you. Super, yes. So where are you calling from?
So I'm calling from Bristol, but I am Irish. So Ken, maybe we can be friends somewhere along the
Right.
Atlantic. But yeah, based in the UK in Bristol.
That's great. You have a presentation that you want to share with us
I
today?
do indeed. Yeah.
So we have I'll let you know when we see it. Amazing. Looks good. Super. So
Okay.
yeah, go for
You
it.
can see
Good
me?
luck.
Okay, awesome. So guys, we typically target I suppose large businesses. We work with their learning and development or HR and sales teams. We do actually work with some founders in smaller size businesses as well. So perhaps this problem will resonate with some of you. And if it does, feel free to have a look or check out more details. So I guess the problem that we are solving, there is a global talent shortage. So there's a skills gap across the globe. Sales positions in particular are the second hardest role to fill globally. So that's the challenge we've been tackling. So we're very passionate about commercial skill sets. We target B2B complex sales. So why is it a problem? Why is there a skills gap in generally? Typically now sales has become more complex over the years. Our buyers have become more professional and sophisticated. We are faced with digital disruption. They're well informed, so they are able to, I suppose, explore different options before they come to you. And for a while people thought that almost negated the purpose of a salesperson, but actually with a professional buyer you actually need as sophisticated and professional skill sets on the other side of the table to be able to navigate that buying journey and deliver your sales results on time. So perhaps some of you have experienced this already, and if not, potentially it will come in the future for you. So there's loads of quotes out there. Harvard a couple of years ago quoted at 39%. Dale Carnegie more recently has quoted that 72% of B2B buyers are buying based on the skills of your sales team. So that actually means you could have an amazing product, you could have your pitch down, but actually if you have poor skills on the other side of the table, you're not going to be able to affect a transaction, or maybe not be able to affect it in the timeline that you need to. And especially for some of you'll feel it. If you don't close sales on time, you don't get revenue in on time, it can mean the end of your business. So really important to all businesses of all sizes, definitely even more so for you guys. So as I mentioned, we're dealing with that professional informed buyer. What that means is the skills of your salesperson has evolved over time. But unfortunately, sales education hasn't kept pace. So it's causing a huge global problem in attracting, developing, and retaining good sales talent. And what I say good because, you know, they're more likely to be in a competitive space, be poached, and so on. So companies now are starting to look at, well, how do I build great sales talent in-house when it's costly to hire them in, and it's really hard to keep them with like the likes of Google out there that are going to poach all your best people. Sales turnover is one of the highest departments. It's 27% per organization. So how do you keep your great people? In the US, you know, there's a huge space there. They're spending 800 billion on training, and most of that training is outdated, looking at the same kind of concepts, methodologies that they have been for the last 20, 30 years. So we are the Entrepreneurial Sales Institute. We have been setting out to fix this problem around sales skills, competencies, changing the right behaviors, and sticking it into embedding in your workflow. And ultimately, we're trying to build entrepreneurial salespeople that are high performing and delivering. We've done that in 3 ways. We've built a digital first learning model. So developing complex skills takes time. Typically, no organization is going to let their sales team off the floor not delivering sales results for long periods of time. So that means digital is the only way to deliver that successfully. So we've developed a digital first solution. We've built a huge curriculum that looks at the competencies across modern sales techniques and what they need to do to deliver high performance results orientated salespeople. And we went down the road of accreditation so that it wasn't just us saying that our solution was great, that actually there is a university that has put a credit rating on our first of 10 modules at 20 credits on the European qualifications framework. And that means you can get a professional diploma coming off the back of ours. And over time, you can start to build up university credits to put towards things like bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, and so on, and get recognized for the sales skills you have in your team. Organizations a lot of the time are amazing at providing great product knowledge and market knowledge or industry knowledge to their sales team, but that's usually where it begins and ends. They're missing the other half of the pie, which is actually the sales skills and competencies, their salespeople, and their ability to affect transactions on time consistently. And so I guess for us, it's twofold. If you put in a program that builds great salespeople, you're able to attract and retain great talent. You're able to build a reliable pipeline of sales talent and start to improve employee reward, recognition, and engagement. But as the employee, you get a skill set developed, you get recognition and qualifications across the board, and you get learning to consistently develop your professional career. So that's kind of me. I know I'm maybe quicker than usual, but yeah,
exactly 4
in a
minutes.
nutshell.
That's good. That's
Brilliant. Didn't even time it. So, yeah, feel free to ask any questions or yeah, go and visit us if you want.
Excellent. So, I mean, basically what most of your presentations are going to be sales presentations, right? To sell your own solution of sales trainings for organizations. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, again, though we target across the board, some of the people we target are much smaller organizations, and it's founder making the decision themselves for their own business. And then also, though, we target enterprise companies with multiple stakeholders, so L&D, HR, and sales. So slight nuance on pitch, but same underlying message. So it's kind of like, does this hit the mark for all of them? Is it like almost tailor make each one specifically to get to the heart of the message, or yeah, does it work, I guess?
Yeah, good. Okay, so basically Ami is now gonna go on a crusade of sales meetings. So let's give her a little bit feedback about ESI. So what did you think? Would you purchase it? What was missing here in the presentation? Let's say, was there something that was neglected to be said? Was there something that was said too much, or whatever would help Ami in her goal of basically selling as much as possible of this program? That would be super great. So we're going to look for the feedback. And Ami, do you want me to maybe let's do a quick question for people if we prefer was the pain, was there a pain, or was it clear? Was the product clear?
Yeah.
What would be
I'd love to understand if if people recognize the pain and if it's something that they'd be motivated to fix. Two different, something in that order.
Yeah. So first of all, these are startup people, so we have to take this into account. But basically, the question is, from what you've heard, is it clear that there is a pain here, that ESI can is it clear, regardless of the solution, that there is a pain with what I'm introduced? So we're going to share the results with everyone soon. And again, we're always looking for your feedback on the chat on how to make this better yet. So we're going to share the results on the poll in 5 seconds. I'm going to let the last ones to vote if you haven't voted already on the poll that you see on the screen. And so let me share it. So we have relatively good news over here, Ami, because 67%, the vast majority, are saying that there is a pain.
Awesome.
By the way, it doesn't mean that we didn't ask them about the solution.
Absolutely. Step one.
Yeah, that's step one. Actually, it is the most important step, basically, because the solution you can keep on changing it until it hits a nerve. But if there is no pain, there is not a lot you can do. So we have 28% that say so, and only 6% that say no. Absolutely great. So apparently you're onto something, which is great. Now let's have a look of what was missing for people. What do they think that you can still improve? So Ken, first of all, I think is excited that you're also from Ireland, so you can definitely send a private chat and connect.
Yeah.
And it wasn't clear to Ken if you're offering digital training or classroom or face-to-face training.
Yeah.
I agree. It wasn't also clear to me, so that's
okay.
one point. And also, do you differentiate from thousands of trainers in the field, because you have a lot of trainers?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great.
More people to write.
Do-
But I do think that what Ken said is relevant for the presentation. It's because it's a very short presentation. It's only 4 minutes. You focused a lot on the pain, and you did a great job because people were convinced that there is a pain.
Yeah.
But you didn't focus enough on the solution. So the solution was not that clear, and unfortunately, we don't have time to go over it. But this is definitely something that you want to balance on the next one, because you did a good job on the pain, as you saw, but not necessarily. So how do I solve this pain after you convince us for 3 minutes?
Well, I thought I would tease you enough to know there's a pain I can fix. Maybe if you want more, we can talk.
That's also a strategy. Good. Yeah, Svetlana was a little bit, maybe saw a little bit of a dissonance in the fact of there are other perspective out there that basically says that if your product is good enough and people need it, let's say Google is not necessarily selling all those Google ads and all their services because of their amazing salesperson. They're selling it because basically it's so clear
their reputation.
You basically, so Svetlana is basically advising you to be careful in the like saying, okay, sales is crazy important, but the sentence of basically your product is less important than yourself, people can trigger a few people. So you want to maybe scale it down a little bit, because everyone knows that sales is critical. So
yeah, I suppose I don't know that we have time necessarily to do this, but we have been historically an outsourced sales engine as well for scaling technology businesses. And a lot of the time they would say, well, I have an amazing product, therefore people will just buy. And it's almost, again, undervaluing then the requirement or skills needed to sell when you're unknown. Nobody, like, you don't have a proven business model, you don't have a reputation, you might have an amazing product, but you're displacing most likely an incumbent in the market. So in that, Svetlana, even if your product is amazing, nobody knows about it. So you need the skills of that salesperson to go and fight that fight for you and prove that you have an amazing product. So I guess twofold, you could have the worst product in the world.
Nice.
Everyone knows.
It's true. Good. So other than that, really good. And
Thanks,
if you want, you can share in the chat the link to ESI so people can access it. We don't have time for more feedback, but you also have a comment from Pete that I would also recommend that you maybe copy paste it for later, so you can kind of have a look at that as well. So
I'm gonna
copy paste here. And yeah, super. So Ami, good luck. I saw that you shared the link, esiinstitute.com, and come to visit the pitching event in a few months and let us know how it goes. And for me, I have to tell you something that was missing a little bit for me.
Yeah.
How big is the company, and who are the co-founders? What is the current traction? Like all those things that have to do actually with not necessarily about the pain, but also about the solution. What did you do so far? So this is something that I would definitely stress. And you have more feedback from Pete. So definitely a nice start, and good luck.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Great. We're moving on to, let me see, Stefan. Stefan, I hope you're ready. We're going to have to to even go faster. So Stefan, we're going to need you to not only do exactly 4 minutes like Ami, but even less. So hopefully you're ready for speed pitching. I'm going to promote you.
Hi there.
Hello.
You can see me?
From Stefan. Yeah, we can see you and we can hear you.
That's good. I'm calling from Madrid, Spain.
Ah, wow, that's great. Do you know that I'm now in Las Palmas in Canary Islands?
Las Palmas. So you're probably better beaches and
26 degrees. I'm happy. But yeah, I'll share more if we have more time. But if you have a presentation that you want to share with us.
Not really. I'll go through my words, and if in the end we have time for the MVP, I'll go to it.
Nice, go for it. Okay.
All right. My name is Stefan. I'm developing digital business for 20 years, and I'm collecting life points since 1967, even without knowing so. And I do not know whether when you started collecting life points yourself, but I know you are collecting also. I'll explain to you in a minute. These days, we are all users of so many platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. There's tons of content from our friends and connections. We are spending hours in consuming the content such as, have a look at that pizza I'm eating again. But there's not a single place for only the most important events in your life for you and your friends. LifePoints.me wants to be this place. But what is a life point? Life point is the nuggets in your life, the jewelry of life experiences. At Life Points, you will only find contents that make a real difference in life. The feeling you had on top of that hill, how you met the girl you want to marry, what you were thinking that day you buried your father. Real turning points in your life. This is the only relevant difference between Life Points and any other social network. Zero bullshit for your friends, for your kids, for the community. Be an inspiration and be inspired by others. The business model, having in mind LifePoint content is so tremendous personal that it should be pretty easy to monetize with the relevant offers. For example, when somebody was climbing up to the Kilimanjaro and is sharing this to his friends and to his peers, there could be linked an offer for climbing tours to Himalaya or to the Alps. Where is LifePoints currently at and with status? The logo, the brand, and the domains is done. The detailed technical description of the service is done. The first 50 friendly users have signed up and the first 100 LifePoints have been published. The MVP, the minimum viable product, is close to be launched in beta in 3 languages in the next days, if God and the developer want so. My vision is to have LifePoints helping to be a better world in the future, that we understand each other a lot better, as families, lovers, friends, neighbors, beyond borders, genders, ages, and cultures. In 2024, the plan is to have more than 100 million active LifePointers globally. The current team is me and German, who is the owner of product and marketing. Currently, we are in the need to identify the first target groups interested to sign up and to reach maybe the first 5,000 users. Also to find co-founders, especially on the tech side, to make a real development, and then financing is the next step. If we have still some time, I will share the screen, at least trying to.
About 40 seconds.
40 seconds if I find to share.
There's a green share button.
Green share button. All right, maybe the question without going into detail. Here we are. This is how it could look like. You see different headlines, it's written content. And when you go there, you see the life points of different people. So, by different categories, etc. So this is lifepoints.me. I wish you all many interesting, nice, great life points for 2020. Gracias, danke, and thanks.
Excelente, very good. Okay, super. So Stefan, thanks for that. Just in time, really good. Great. So Stefan, what question do you want me? Do you want to go for the same question like everyone else? Do people think that this thing is needed? Is there real pain here?
Yes, probably
Okay.
that one fits it pretty well.
Super. So let me relaunch the same poll. So everyone, basically, you've heard Stefan. That was a very good, by the way, really good pitching style. Very hard to do a presentation usually without a presentation. So that's something to your benefit. And I'm sharing with everyone now the question of, is there a real pain that this product is solving, which is the biggest question that every startup should deal with, I guess. So we're going to see the answers gathering here. And then kind of try to analyze it. At the same time, we're going to ask everyone to give us feedback in the chat about what would you improve. Stefan is going to go now to try to collect first users. That's going to be a life point, getting your first milestone of users, investors, and so on. So let's try to help him with the presentation. What was missing? What was a little bit for you created resistance, or you think that it might not work, and so on. So first of all, Stefan, what we're going to do is go over the poll. and the poll is showing so not the best results. So, but this is good because you know those results before you started building all of it, so you can still customize a lot of the ideas and so on and the messaging. So over here we see that only 19% said that there is a very clear pain, that this thing is solving, something that is missing currently from their life. 38% are saying so, and you have the majority that are saying actually no, like probably with the saturation of social media now, how much exists of it and so on, you see a majority here that is leaning to no. And you're going to have to find a way to deal with it, because those are relatively, and again, this is the beauty of this event. You get a collective brain of dozens of people, the people that in the end have to decide if the product will be successful or not. And you see that you have a little bit of a problem here. Definitely something that you want to think about and solve, because apparently the pain language and the way they introduced the product, which was very clear, by the way, so it didn't have a clarity problem. It was a pain problem, something in the value proposition. So we'll think about that, and you'll think about that later. Great, and now let's turn to the chat. We don't have a lot of time, but let's try to figure out, get a little bit of feedback from people about what did you think, what would you improve, any ideas. Stefan is still gonna pivot this thing and keep on changing it as he's building it. So anything that comes to mind would be great. Yeah, Kai is saying that you had a great body language. I totally agree. Again, it's very hard to present, so this is good. Yeah, so Kai mentioned a few things about how do people know it's an important life point, and how do you prevent people from posting their pizza picture. We don't have time actually to answer this because we have to run to Svetlana, but something here, because you know, Stefan, apparently the life points are very subjective. You know, each person, my pizza is you getting married, you know, so in a way, it kind of like, there might be a little bit of an issue here, but I think it also connects what Kai is basically saying. It connects to the pain issue of why is this so necessary, considering that everyone wants to post their own stuff, and what's important for one person might not be important for another person. So that's something to think about. Xperia said that they thought it was good and passionate, but not sure if there is a need. So Stefan, this is apparently the repeating thing that you're going to have to tackle. Currently, we don't have enough meat to kind of convince people that there is a need. And because we're out of time, I'm going to thank you. This was, again, really good example of how to present well without a presentation. So congrats on that. And yeah, just like everyone else, in a few months, come back, let us know how this thing evolved. So that's absolutely great.
Will do.
Okay. Thank you very much. Excellent. So we are just in time to go to the last presenter. Was it Svetlana? Let me check on the Q&A. Svetlana, you're going to be the last one. And people, I see that you're sending more feedback on the Q&A. Don't send it, the feedback, send it on the chat better, because then we don't miss it. But Stefan, I'm just going to quickly tell you that for Joan, it was unclear how this will pull people away from Facebook or Instagram. Joan was not that convinced that this is going to happen. He didn't really feel like, oh, wow, I have to leave those platforms and move to that point. And Matt is also saying, when you're dealing with investors and whatever, don't leave the monetization element open, kind of saying it's going to take care of itself. Don't do it. Basically, you need to present some kind of a very clear business model within that, with a pricing model or something like that. Excelente. And yeah, I see that Joan also gave you the feedback on the chat, so you can use it. And Svetlana, we are switching to you. So just a second, I'm promoting you. Just a second. And we're actually very low on time, so we're gonna have to go very fast. So Svetlana, we can see you, but we can't hear you. There is an unmute button at the left of the screen.
Hear me now?
We can hear you now. Where are you calling from?
From Moscow, Russia.
Oh, super
yeah.
great. So
how can I share the screen?
Yes. So first of all, thanks for arriving in such a cold weather, probably in Moscow. And you can share it. There is a green button with an arrow that says share. So you can click it, and I'll let you know when you can see it.
Okay, can you?
We can. Okay, so good luck.
So actually, English is not my native language. Sorry for that. And I wanted to practice my pitch in English with you. And actually, there is a research that average women spend 8 years, deciding what to wear and on shopping. We spent a lot of time on completing outfits and so on. And at the same time, every single piece of clothes we buy in physical stores or online, it exists in digital. Every piece of clothes has its image. And the question was, why retailers not to put what we buy in a cloud wardrobe? Why brands don't recommend how to complete outfits with what you have and a new collection of the brand? It would save time for people. It would help retailers to stick people to the brand more and increase customer lifetime value. And with this question, we've done a number of pilots with physical stores, with brands, French one and British one, and with online stores here in Russia. And the results we got, for example, we've done A/B test, and we send out outfits, and people who were in A group, they recognized the skirt or something from the outfit, and we've got increase of average check for retailer, and conversion rate to buy, and CTR, and open rate, and everything was so great. We created a new impulse to buy outfits that can combine with what you have. And with offline store, we also done some experiments. For example, we put the recommendation on clothes in store, and scanning QR code, people could check how to wear anything they like in the store. And we also recorded sales increase, and that was plus 49%. And what we've done now, we've done a solution that everybody can use smartphones to scan barcodes of items in physical stores, and get many outfit possibilities with anything you like in a physical store. Or we can also recognize links from online stores in order to show many outfit possibilities with anything. And we also save what people buy in a virtual wardrobe, and then we notify how to complete outfits with what you have in a new collection of your favorite brand. And we did it with the messengers. We developed chatbot because it's even better than emails. It has more open rate than emailings, and people don't need to download anything. So it's easy, it's fast, and it's very easy scalable for retailers. And we see the potential to build the international huge company connecting brands and people. Right now, our chatbot is available in 700 stores in our region, and we're also developing pilots with 2 huge retailers in Russia. But we wanted to target on the US market, and right now we are trying to sell our solution in Europe and in US. Business model is revenue sharing and subscription from brands. We take commission from sales generated by our chatbot, and afterwards we want also to sell data and analytics. We have some competitors, that is in physical stores, some tablets for sales staff and smart mirrors, but our solution is different because there is no extra work for sales associates, and we don't ask to buy any equipment for stores. So right now we're in Russia, but we wanted to be in US and in Europe this year to make pilots and sign some clients. That is our team. We have winners of the biggest hackathons in our region, and our CTO, he developed a chatbot for Slack, having 100,000 users on board. And as for me, that is my third entrepreneurial experience. We're looking for investment, yeah. And for everybody, opportunity just ahead. And there are my contacts.
Excellent, great, good presentation, Svetlana. Really good graphics and good stuff. Your English is also good. Great stuff. So we don't have a lot of time to help Svetlana, but Svetlana, if you had one question for the crowd, for example, was it clear, or is there a pain you wanna maybe do? Was it clear, or what's your question to the crowd? And by the way, everyone, I want everyone to stay, because you're gonna have to help me vote who is the winner here. So don't go just yet. Every time in the end of the presentation, Svetlana, someone from the team asks me who won, and I'm like, I don't know. So I'm going to use people to know. So yeah, maybe you can answer the question I asked. Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to ask if it's clear, or
okay.
what should I add?
Super. So we're going to share now a question from Svetlana about, was this clear? Did you really understand what is the solution? And if you can please in the chat also give feedback to Svetlana about maybe what was not clear. What should she add into the presentation? She's trying to get 300K of investment now. Anything that can be valuable, that's going to be absolutely important, and Svetlana can take this feedback with her. So I'm just going to let people a few more seconds to vote on the question of, was the product and service clear? So we're going to allow about 5 more seconds, and then we're going to share the result. Great. So let me just share. So over here, you have relatively good results. So you have 63% that said that what you're building is clear, and only 38% that says no, so-so, and you don't even have one person that says no. So actually what you did, great job also on the English and on the presentation. So super. But we still want to help Svetlana with maybe other topics. So let's have a quick look on the chat if we have any feedback here. That might be relevant for Svetlana, that would be absolutely great. So first of all, Ami is saying that this is a strong pitch and you're seeing great traction. So congratulations on that. Xperia says that they like both the product, the team, and the team twice. Okay, that's great. So that's great. David also says that this is a great pitch and a nice idea. Matt is saying that this was a great presentation. The pitch was clear and solves what seems to be a time-consuming problem, which also negatively affect sales. Matt would be a little bit more curious to learn more about how the chatbot works in providing recommendations. So I guess that maybe a demo at some point would be nice. Xperia also says that this was a good thing, and Kai is saying that this was a good image in the beginning. It got people scared, I guess, with the woman spending 8 years of her life. They like the chatbot solution, and but Kai is only saying that maybe it's a little bit weird to show the ROI 13 multiplied by 13, and so on. So you have a few maybe things on maybe the investment side, but other than that, you got a lot of compliments. So that's absolutely great. It's Svetlana, just like everyone else. You should come back in a few months. Let us know how it went for you. Okay, so keep us updated. Good presentation. Super. So good luck. Bye-bye. Great. And now for the last part of the event, which is basically you helping me to decide who is the winner. I can't deal with the pressure. So we're not going to share this poll. I'm just going to put it out here, and I'm going to announce the winner. I'm just going to tell everyone who won according to the poll that we're doing here. So thanks everyone for helping us out. I'm launching the poll now. And yeah, if you can vote. So you have Share from Ken, you have ESI from Ami, you have Life Points from Stefan, you have Wonderobe from Svetlana. And yeah, let's give a few more seconds before we declare the winner. But I have to say, all of you are winners because you were super courageous. And I have to say that all presentations were very, very good. Like there was no real presentation that went off the rails. All of them were really good. So that's congratulations to all of you. And yeah, let me just announce. So Svetlana, you're in luck. All of you got votes, by the way. So it's a nice distribution. However, Svetlana, you are actually a clear winner by a majority with Wonder Rob. So congrats to you. You can add another thing to your last slide of events. Well done. Really, really good presentations from every one of you. And that's basically it for today. This was a great event. Thanks everyone for arriving. We're going to announce the next one soon and hope to see you again. So have a good one. Bye-bye. Ciao.